Hey everybody, it's BJ.
Hey, it's Aleatha.
And this is another episode of Off the Record. Did Danny put our logo? Yes, she did. Thank you, Danny. And we actually have a full house today. I feel under attack for some reason. We have not only Destiny, and she's recording me right now besides the other three cameras. And Danny's vlogging, so Danny's in here. But we've also got our three interns in here.
We have a live studio audience.
Right? Yes, we do. Just waiting for the clap. Okay, so it turned out we didn't know this until later, but Destiny gives us questions, but we went through it last time and we don't know the questions or whatever the topics are. But last time we figured out that the interns were the culprits behind some of those questions, i.e., what animal describes you that caused us
meow, Kiki.
Are you done?
Yes.
You sure?
Yeah, I have enjoyed the people messaging me about it, though. I ain't gonna lie.
I have not.
Anyways.
So it's their fault that Aleatha and I had beef last time.
I got so tickled I could not breathe. I was dying.
All right, so let's see what the first topic is today. First topic is Aleatha's nail color. I can't read this.
Really?
Yeah. I have nothing to do with it.
You mean to tell me you can't say basic Band-Aids?
That's right. I did not say it.
Wow.
You did.
Wow.
All right. So what is that? Let me see your fingernails.
That has nothing to do with me. It has to do with Destiny's that wants stiletto nails and gemstones and designs. Like she wants me walking around here like bon qui qui. And I'm trying to keep it classy and I'm trying to keep it demure.
Oh.
But she says that I have no color on my nails. That it just looks like I have Band-Aids on my fingers.
So she wants you to have like those 9-inch nail things.
Apparently.
I don't see anything wrong with it.
I think there ain't nothing wrong with it.
It looks classy.
Yeah, she's wrong about it.
So
and
what's her beef with it?
I just told you.
Well, I think that's a lame excuse.
Yeah, I like to keep it neutral, and there's nothing wrong with that. I like a bright toe. I have a bright toe. But I'm not doing all that. These are my nails.
What you said? A bright toe?
Yeah, like I like a bright color on my toes, but I'm not walking.
I don't know what a bright toe is.
Let me tell you something.
Tell me.
When my hair cuts short and I go to the salon every week for somebody to curl it, and I drive a Buick, and I have a French tip on my fingernails. Maybe at that point I'll wear some dark cherry color.
What's wrong?
I'm not doing that.
What's wrong with people driving Buicks?
Not a damn thing. But you got to be a woman of a certain age, and I'm just not that old yet.
Who? You know who you just offended?
I don't give a. We've already covered this.
The Queen of Kinston.
I don't exactly. And a queen she is. You see her walking around here with that bright mess on her fingernails. She would never, honey. There ain't no knock on the Buick. I'm just saying, when I go to buy my last car, it's going to be a Buick. And a very nice one.
I had an uncle that every year he lived in South Carolina and West Virginia over time, and every year he came to Kinston to buy a Cadillac from Massey Toyota. So I saw him at least once a year because every year he came to town just to do that. He was fantastic, and I loved his little caddy.
Anyway, I want to know in the comments what y'all do with y'all's fingernails.
I do nothing.
Do you keep them your own nails and just keep them short and just get them done like this? Or do you do acrylics? What do you do?
If you were arrested, who would be your first call? Besides my wife, Jessica. I'm going to answer this one. I'm going to try.
Well, praise God.
Besides my wife, Jessica, the first person I would call would probably be either... or first two people would be Aleatha and Brandon, because one, I know Aleatha would be there. Two, Brandon doesn't care how big a mistake I'd make. He'd help out too. So that's what I would do. I'm not saying you got to reciprocate because I know you won't, but I also the question does stand to you. Who would you call?
I don't believe that's who you would call is what I was thinking, actually.
Jessica would be my first.
No, I'm not talking about that. No. You're going to call somebody that can get you out of the situation you in.
Oh. Well, I got to get out of jail first, and then I'd handle that later.
I'm just saying. You wouldn't call a lawyer?
No, I mean, I would call Jessica, and then I would call you or Brandon. Yeah, that's what I would do.
All right.
And then I would call a lawyer.
You probably can't call me. I'm probably the reason you're in there.
She ain't wrong, people. All right, who would you call? You got your little girls group, all your high school friends.
I have a lot of people I could call.
Those are ride or die kind of people.
I got a lot of people I could call. I'm lucky in that way. Some of my best friends since I was in 6th grade are still my friends, and we have a group chat, and we talk all the time, and I could call either of them for that, and they 100% would come to me. And one of them is an attorney, so
She is.
she would answer. And
She's also the reason you'd be in jail too, though. I mean, she's part of that same group.
she is 100%.
Right.
But then I have my, my Southside girls, and I could call any of them. I could call Jessica. I could call Marie. I could call Brandy. And of course, my ride or die, no matter what, it don't matter. Somebody that would actually go and absolutely raise complete. If I needed them to, I would call Marsha.
Right.
So I'm lucky that I have more than one person to call.
Right.
Yeah.
I was just thinking when Aleatha, when we met this summer will be 7 years ago. Actually, she knew who I was because she attended something that I had done, but I didn't know her. But when we met to work here, it was one day she said, trying to describe her personality, she was like, "I'm holy enough to pray for you, but hood enough to swing on you." And I've always believed her, and she plays that out. Plays out every day.
Yeah.
What is the most embarrassing thing you have ever accidentally posted?
I can't answer it. I mean, I could tell it, but we can't post it because I'm too much connected to downtown nightlife, and everybody that knows would know, and so therefore. Only 11 people saw it, and if you're one of them and you say something in the comments, I swear to God, I'm going to have to make a phone call to get out of jail that we were just talking about.
So I saw it, but only after Aleatha had been contacted to say that she needed to take it down. And it was pretty embarrassing. It was funny, too, but it was...
It wasn't supposed to be. I took a video with my Snapchat to send to my friend Kevin because we talk about all things. And I needed him to see something. So I took the video with my Snapchat and I downloaded the video to send it to him. But little did I know, for 24 hours, somehow I posted the video on my Snap story. And I did not know that I did it. And the only reason I found out I did it was my daughter.
Oh, she got you.
Swiped up or whatever and said to me,
"Mom, what are you doing?"
She said, "Who are these people and why are you stalking them?" Because I had zoomed all the way into them so that I could really get the information that I was trying to get. And it was on my story for 24 hours. And 11 people saw it.
For how long?
But 24 hours. It's way too damn long. But I didn't have words up there or nothing, which is most of the time I would have because I would have been talking and just putting it on there, but I didn't. So
because the person you sent it to or thought you were sending it to would have understood the context. So it.
Yeah, exactly. There was no words
But to everybody else, because when I saw it, I was like, "Oh my God, I cannot believe you did that."
It was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad. I did like 3 things in a week and a half that was that bad with my phone. And Destiny was like, someone's gonna just have to take your phone. You can't keep doing this. You're ruining your life.
This question was really for you, but for me, honestly, I'm so tight on what I post, and I control that. Even though I self-deprecate a lot, like, for example, Aleatha has been picking on me because I'm still fussing about the whole meow meow kitty kitty thing that happened last time. But she was like, "You didn't have to post it," and that is true. I didn't have to post a thing.
Exactly. Every time he tried to say something to me about being mad that everybody's talking about meow meow kitty kitty, I was like, "You did that?"
Right. So I didn't have to, but I'm okay with it because I don't mind picking on myself.
Are you trying to say that was your most embarrassing thing that's been posted?
It's just the only thing that's top of my mind, but because I don't recall anything that I've been embarrassed about that I've posted.
Oh, I was thinking about when you wore them pajamas to the train. Honestly.
That might have been embarrassing for you. For me, but I was not embarrassed.
I believe it even had a little flap on the back where it's got the little buttons.
Now she messing. Now you're playing. So it was when the kids are younger. If you haven't done the
Danny, please put the picture up here so everybody can see what I'm talking about. Thank you.
When kids are younger, you ever watched the movie at Christmas time, Polar Express? Well, on Polar Express, they've got a Polar Express train ride in the mountains of North Carolina, and one year we were able to get tickets and take our family there because I think Catherine was at the age where she still believed, and Grayson was at the age where she was questioning it. And it was like the last time it was the last year we could have gone, and it made sense. And so yeah, part of that ride is everybody gets in their pajamas, and you do this whole cookies and milk, and there's a skid on it, but you're on the train the whole time, and it's really cute. It's a lot of fun. I would encourage families to do that if you can.
Did you have to stop anywhere on the way in the pajamas though?
Like
if you had to get gas, did you have to pump the gas in the pajamas? If you stopped to get food, did you all go in the pajamas?
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
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 I hope so.
Yeah. The whole thing. But it was cute. It was fun. I was not embarrassed by it. But Aleatha, what's wrong with that, Aleatha?
Not a thing in the world.
Then why did you laugh so hard on my shoulder just a second ago?
It's just, there's just some things that I just couldn't.
You couldn't what?
There's just some things that if I was if I was in a relationship with somebody that I just absolutely could not handle for a guy to do. Mm-hmm. Drinking White Claw comes to mind.
You want to read the last one?
No, I really don't.
Well, it's not about you.
Oh. BJ, the interns want to know your real name.
So I bet
a lot of other people want to know too.
I was making coffee here, and everybody was in the studio, and Danny walked in, and I was making coffee, and I had this epiphany. I feel like I'm being set up today for some reason, and I even made that comment when I walked in the room, and Aleatha assured me we were recording at the moment. Aleatha assured me I invited them in here. It's okay.
I don't know what's on this paper, just like you don't know. I have no idea.
You are either directly or indirectly responsible for this sabotage.
No, I absolutely am not. I have nothing to do with it.
Well, they are not going to find out today.
I told them that.
And they're not going to find out this way. My name is BJ. I am Buster Jr.
That ain't what that's not his government name.
Yeah.
I wonder how many people don't know that that's not your real name. They're about to find out.
Well, it's always fun because people guess. They're like, is it Benjamin Johnson or?
Well, they think it's just Buster Jr., which is really what BJ stands for.
Right.
But Buster is not your name.
Buster is my dad's nickname and has been since the day he was born.
And it's not your legal name. Buster is not.
That is correct. And that's all you get to know. I don't see any harm in that. When I learned how to write my name, it was BJ.
Were they ashamed of your name? How come they wouldn't even let you learn to write your real name? Danny's laughing at me. Like serious question.
I don't know. The day I was born, similar to the way my dad was born, when I was in an aunt and uncle or my mama's arms, whatever, they said, well, there's Buster Jr., there's BJ. I mean, it was such a natural thing. I don't know. I just told my dad there wouldn't be a third. And then I had two girls, so it didn't have to worry about that. But there was not going to be a third. So anyway, that's that.
All right.
Sorry, interns. Love y'all. Mean it. They tried their best. Any other questions from the audience since we have a live audience here?
I knew that they wanted to know your name, but I told them you weren't going to tell them. But I didn't know it was on that paper.
Now, what they could do is they could do some of that. What is it, the white girl FBI type mojo that y'all come up with? Y'all find all kinds of stuff on people? Huh? That's just the way it is. I'm not the one who's using racial terms, but that is the truth. Anything else you want to say today? Because that's all the topics we have. Oh, no, we have one more.
What?
You're allowed to the viewing public here.
My mama's calling me now. I can't help it. I got to answer that.
Well, I was going to let you talk about Taylor Swift buying back her.
Let me.
Well, now we can cut the cameras off right now if you want to.
No, I'm just saying we need more content now. Danny don't got enough.
I was going to let you talk about Taylor Swift if you wanted to, because I know there's going to be very little I can add to that, but just something that's really important to you and all the Swiftie Nation or whatever y'all call yourselves.
I don't really.
You see the way she looked at me when I said Swifty
don't really
Nation?
I mean, it's kind of like I just feel like the wave of that is over. I'm not impassioned to discuss it at this point.
Okay.
But I am happy for her, and I did see that she was out in West Palm Beach, Florida last night with Travis having dinner. But anyway, she's back in the public eye. The drought was the very worst.
All right, so
My mama crazy. I just laughing at her. Anyway.
So Aleatha was talking to her mama about something, and she was alluding to something I did. There was a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and I read it 20-some years ago. And Danny knows what that meant. Lily's over here going like, "What's he doing like this?" Because Danny knows like that. He's going to throw a picture of the book. But I read it 20 years ago, and it was an absolutely life-changing type of a book for me. It changed some of my thinking of how money and business works. What are you doing?
Oh my God!
What are you doing?
What was that?
She's got this like sidebar monologue over here.
Why was she?
But she won't talking in the microphone. She was talking to herself.
No, y'all, it's because okay. Listen.
I can't even tell a story.
I'm so sorry. But y'all know, if y'all know me, you know that the inside of my brain is mostly lyrics to music. And 25 times a day, I blurt them out. And the other half of the times, I never say them. Well, when he said 20 years ago, it sparked a memory from an Alabama song. And I couldn't not say the words to it, because if I did, I probably have autism. But I had to do it. All the memories when the days go round around me, and the rain go round. I had to get it out. But then I forgot for one small moment. Sorry, go ahead.
So I read this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, 20 years ago. Life-changing book. And I ran across it this past week for some unknown reason, and it made me think about the interns and my girls. So the interns are going to do a project this summer where they read the book. I bought the book for myself as well as them, and we're all going to read it together, and they're going to do a really cool project at the end, video project at the end. But I was thinking about my girls as well. I've got two daughters. One's close to being 17. The other one is 13. And they're like me, not avid readers. I read all the time, but not necessarily like a book. And so the idea was simple, that I would buy them the book, let them read it, and I had to think of an incentive to make sure that they did it, because normally they wouldn't read a book. And so what I did is I came up with, I would give them $100 cash if they finished the book. What I know is that if they do, and it makes them think about their life and all these other things, that $100 is going to be pales in comparison to the return on their life. But the question at hand that Aleatha was alluding to her mama is whether a parent has ever paid their kid to do something. And so the question I think that the interns want me to ask the audience is whether or not you've ever paid your child to do something. Now, I get like chores are one thing, but we're talking about the extra stuff in life. So reading a book is one thing. What would be another example of that?
I would pay my dollar to break up with somebody I didn't like.
Ooh. There you go. Great example. Any others?
Me and her dad would get together and we'd be like, listen, if you break up with him by tomorrow, we'll give you $1,000. If I hated him, I promise I would. Because you got to go.
Yeah,
if I don't like
because
you.
in that case, it's listen, you're wasting your life and your time with this person, right?
But the truth of it is, in my mind, is it doesn't work that way. Because people have to choose. If you like, let's say they're gonna read the book, but the reason they're reading the book is because you're gonna give them $100. Versus saying this could be very life changing, and I think there's a lot of important lessons in here, and then they choose to do that, they're going to take more away from it, I think, if it's because they wanted to do it versus somebody forcing them to do it. Same as Hannah, I could pay her $1,000 to break up with somebody, but it doesn't mean the things that made her want to be with someone that I found less becoming would change in her.
I make my kids go to school. If it was up to them to choose that life-changing 1 year in school, they would still say no to it. So,
well, yeah, I mean, of course, about that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's certain things that it doesn't apply to, but I think there's some things it is. Like, if you try to force your children to go in a certain direction in life, Have you ever heard the stories of people like that? All my parents ever wanted me to do was to be a blank or to own the business that my dad owned, and because they were so overbearing about it, they didn't want to do it.
Yeah. Well,
That's what I was saying.
My plan at the end of this is to have the interns are going to do a video project with my girls. We're going to have some ongoing conversations about it. So, to me, the incentive is peanuts, but it's also a real incentive because I'm literally going to take a crisp $100 bill and tape it to like a door frame or something in the house as just a constant reminder that here, once it's done, and they've got to before they go back to school to finish it. So the question is, would you do that, or what other type of thing would parents consider doing something similar? I'm really curious because I would have never thought what she just said about breaking up with somebody.
Yeah, like if you were, I was, you know me, I'm being a little bit silly, but that would just be a devastating scenario to me for Hannah to be with someone that was not good for her and not good for, Hannah's on a particular path in life. Mm-hmm. And so if someone came along and was interrupting that and causing chaos for her, I would not be able to handle that. Lucky for me, she is with someone and has been with them for quite a long time, and they are wonderful. And they treat her like a queen, worship the ground she walks on, and supports every dream she has. Mm-hmm. So thankfully, at this point in her life, I don't have to deal with that. Right. But if I did, I would be the mom that would have a really hard time with my child being with that person because I would like to murder them. I know that I would.
Speaking of your child, about a week or so ago, you were bragging on the fact that she's becoming this age and this woman where life is starting to make a little bit more sense.
It is, and it's great to see.
How old is she now? 21?
She'll be 22 in September, so not long.
And she's a year away from finishing school. Mm-hmm. And she went to the school that she wanted to, then decided that wasn't her best interest. Came to a school that's closer to y'all, which made you happy.
Yeah, it did.
And she swallowed a little bit of pride to pull that off.
She did.
But has been incredibly happy to do it.
And it was the best decision she could have made. And there are a lot of kids, even, we got interns in here, some of, 2 of them are in school, but there's a lot of them that are going to graduate and they think like Hannah did. She, quote, knew what she wanted to do with her life from a very early age, as early as like 9 years old. And that's all she ever wanted to do. Mm-hmm. App State was the only place she really wanted to go. I've said it 1,000 times. She got into UNC Wilmington and NC State, which is where I would have liked for her to have gone because it was a lot closer. But she was determined to go to App. And the truth is, she loved it there. She loved the campus. She loved the area. She loved the vibes. She loved it all. But it was not a good fit for her personality and mentally. Mm-hmm. And so she had to make a change because of that, and it was the best thing she did. So just encourage all the kids going off to college. Oh, and by the way, the thing she always wanted to do, she took 1 semester of those classes and called me and said, this is not for me. Right. And completely changed directions from entrepreneurship and business development to now being a biology major, which was the best thing she's ever done. So it's okay. It's okay if you figure out you're going the wrong way. It's okay if you want to make a change. Don't feel like you're failing if you have to make changes. Sometimes that's good.
The other thing I'll add to that is something I've told not only Grayson, who's will be a rising senior here real soon, but also to a lot of other teenagers that junior senior time frame that when kids make the announcement, students make the announcement, and most of the time it's mom and dad, let's be honest, that make the announcement, hey, I'm going to go to App State, or hey, I'm going to be a Wolfpack, or hey, I'm going to New York, or whatever. When they make this big splash about the university that they chose, then there's this innate peer pressure to do the same, to go off to be this big thing. And what I've tried to tell my daughter is, and other students, is that I don't want you or them to fall into that trap of feeling like you have to do that. Because the reality is there's a big splash in the beginning about I'm going to this university, but in a year, they're very quietly, not ever going to post about it, but they're going to be at a different university.
Or not in there at all.
Half of those students will be in a different place the very next year.
That is so true, BJ. I just, one person in mind, love them, know them. She's doing great in life now, so it's not in any way any shade to her. But that's what happened. They went to a university. They made the big splash about it, and you're exactly right. No one posted about it. No one said anything about it. But college was not a fit for her.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's
she
okay.
actually dropped out of school and went into a trade school and then came out and started her own and is thriving at that and killing it. So you never know where life's going to take you ahead of this, but it's okay if you need to make changes from what you think you're supposed to do or what your parents think you're supposed to do or anyone else. This is your life. You have to make those decisions for yourself.
And I encourage kids to go to the 4-year university. I also think it's a very wise choice to go to community college if that's in your best interest. You also, if you go to community college, you're able to get into that school of choice better after the second year. But for some students, that's not the right path. For some students, being 4 years at a university allows you that freedom, flexibility to kind of discover your own path and make a change in major if you need to, because the whole purpose of going there is to prepare you to be in the real world. And I promise you, once you're done, the real world's going to kick you in the mouth and you're not going to know it. But it's going to happen. So the last topic is, this is a new entry, submitted from one of our viewers. Ask Aleatha about daytime, nighttime Barbie. I know nothing about this topic.
It was 1985.
I was 5 years old.
I had the day to night Barbie. And you have to understand, I grew up a fairly poor girl on the countryside of the South Side, and I didn't have access to a lot of things. So any little thing that came into my house, honey, was everything to me, okay? And 1985 day to night Barbie was, because let me just tell you that in that first outfit, she had her briefcase, and she had her blazer and her pencil skirt, because she was out there doing boss. But you know what happened at the nighttime? You took all of that off, and then you put on her flare skirt and her high heels, and we went out, honey, in our Corvette.
Was Ken there?
Who? I don't know him.
Ooh.
And we lived our best life.
I need a photo.
And we
of
lived
this
our best life.
nighttime
And so
Barbie.
when I was scrolling on my Facebook yesterday, I was literally triggered to the deepest parts of my soul, because somebody had posted one of those "Remember This" commercial from 1985, and it was the day to night Barbie. And so I very passionately began to talk about it, and Destiny could not stop laughing at me. But Danny, I'm going to find you that video, and I'm going to put it so that I want everybody in the world to watch. Y'all don't know about day to night, okay? Barbie was a working woman.
Wow, this got her worked up. I didn't know.
One of the things that makes Barbie so important is because Barbie was the first doll that was ever made for women that began to include occupations and jobs and careers. So Barbie could be anything. And prior to the arrival of Barbie, the only real dolls we had were babies, because the only damn thing a woman could be was give a man a bunch of damn children. And Barbie changed the game. Barbie said, Barbie can be astronaut. Barbie can be a veterinarian. Barbie can own her own business. Barbie can have a mansion. Barbie can have a Corvette. Barbie can have little friends. Barbie can do anything. Barbie can be everything, okay?
Barbie needs to be in the kitchen, cooking and cleaning.
Barbie won't in the kitchen. Barbie won't in the kitchen, because when Barbie came home, she took that blazer off and she took that pencil skirt off and she put them heels on and showed that she was outside.
Oh, I knew
Okay?
it. I'm a girl that you know.
I'm just here to tell you. I'm about that Barbie life now. I love that. I love it.
You know what I need to see? I need to see a 1985 photo of Aletha.
Oh, I can get that.
Oh gosh,
We're not going to put it on here.
Yeah. Oh yes, we might.
No, we're not doing that. But anyway,
I bet you have one of them like little bob cuts like this right here.
You don't know nothing about what I had. What I had was very tragic, and it was against my will.
Of course. Didn't you do that to your daughter?
What was against her will?
Oh, how she dressed.
No, because when my daughter told me that she didn't want to wear frilly dresses and bows no more, I didn't make her.
Oh yeah.
I let her be who she wanted to be. As is obvious now, she caravans around, pierces, dyed hair, tattoos, all the things. No, she's out there living her best life. But she knows who she is, and she has confidence because she has been assured of that, because no one's tried to make her be anything other than what she is.
Some of the best fights in our house have happened when Jessica and Catherine were fighting over what Catherine was going to wear that day. Because Catherine's always wanted to do her own thing, always.
I'm not finished about the Barbie.
I know.
This is why the Barbie movie is so important, though. This is why it's so important, because
We got 10 minutes. I heard talking about Barbie.
It very much highlights the truth that Barbie was the thing that first came along, to where the guy was kind of irrelevant. The guy was the accessory. The guy was the side piece. And the Barbie movie does an incredible job at showing that. Like, the Ken doll is the dumb in the Barbie movie. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't need all that, because we can be fabulous on our own. And I love how you just scrolling on your phone when I'm sitting here talking about Barbie. But it's fine. The 1985 Barbie Day Tonight, y'all don't know, but I'm gonna send that in the video.
Okay.
She was about her business, for real. I'm done. I don't have anything else to say about it.
One thing I've learned about Aleatha is when she says she's done, she doesn't have anything else to say about it. 95% of the time, she's right that she doesn't.
Yeah,
but then I might bring up something else about it, and there's a small chance she might rehash something or give me a new perspective on it. But I believe you.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
I don't have anything else to say.
All right. Anything else? Any other topic? Anything else we needed to discuss? Are all hearts and minds clear?
If you know, you know.
Yep. All right. Well, until next time, I'm BJ.
I'm Aleatha.
Thank y'all. Love you.
Bye.